gemstones has been cut and polished by hand. So this is a ribbonstone, and it's got some nice waving pattern or ribbon-like pattern. And this is about 7 centimeters by about 4 centimeters wide. So the beauty of this stone is the pattern itself. What I like to do with these ones is consider first the thickness of the stone. So I've got a pretty thin stone on the edges, but it's okay because I don't have any patterns on this side. So I mainly want to take this part here, which has got the most concentration of the pattern, which means I'm going to have to cut off or grind off this part here. That looks thick, but I'm going to lose at least 50% of the stone. So what I'm going to end up, I'm probably going to get one big stone, and I don't know if that's going to break off when I cut it, but probably I might only end up with one stone and a tiny little chip or a couple of little chips. So now I'm going to be pre-forming this stone. So first I'm just going to cut around the edges. And then I'll expose this part of the stone that's covered by dirt. Now I can see that there's no cracks on the stone, so I can go ahead and cut this, but since most of the patterns are in this area, I would really like to get that to go here. So I'm just going to mark this, and just so I can have a nice shape, I'll cut off that part there, and then that way I'll have a nice pattern pre-form. So I'm going to cut this side first. Can see some nice pink color in there. So I would really want to take, so that's the front of the stone and on the side, so have that part as the back or maybe the front. So I'll just take this off first. So now I've taken it off, and I could still use that as another piece, and it's got some nice patterns in it as well. So now this one's starting to take shape, but it still has to have a lot of cutting before I could come up with the final shape. So I'm just going to continue. So far you can see the shape. So that's the side. It's pretty thick still there. And on the opposite side it's quite thin. And the back of it is all still not even. So I'm just going to continue shaping this, and I'll show you what it looks like when I finish shaping. I have now finished shaping the stone, and I've lost a lot. It was 7 by 4, I think. So now I want it with 5.5 and 3.5. Overall, I've lost quite a fair bit, and the stone is much thinner as well. So you can see that there's still a lot of ridges that's not smooth. So that's the back. It will still sit nicely, and I'll just smoothen it out by grinding it. So I'll be using a 280 grit metal grinding wheel. I will be mainly grinding this just to smoothen the surface. So if you notice, as I'm grinding it, I am feeling the surface of the stone to find out which area still has a high point. I have now finished grinding it with the 280, and as you can see, it is much smoother again. If I still have a lot of bumps and high points, then I would still grind this with the 600, but in this case that's good enough to throw into the tumbler. So that was my intention for this ribbonstone. Since I can't wait for at least 8 weeks it's going to take to tumble this up, I polished it. And after the 280 grit, I grinded it with the 600 grit for about 20 minutes. And after that, another 1200 grit for another half an hour at least. And so now, that's all nice and polished. So I hope This video may have shed some light into what's involved in processing a piece of rough gem and turning it into the shiny polished jewelry ready stones we're more used to seeing.